Welcome to IELTS Talk Show, and today I'm so thrilled because I am about to meet up with a lovely girl, a former student here in IELTS Fighter, and you guys know what? She just got an 8 overall in her IELTS test. Isn't that wonderful? So now, let's get to meet her, okay? Hi! Hi! So how are you feeling today?
I'm good.
Okay, so are you ready for our little interview?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go. It's so nice to finally meet you here. But first, can you introduce a bit to yourself to our audience?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vân Hà, and currently I'm a junior student at National Economics University. My major is business administration in English. So I study my subjects all in English.
Okay, and I think your English is very impressive. I really like your accent. It's so nice.
Thank you.
And let's get to know each other better, shall we? So, do you have any kinds of hobbies?
Yes, of course. My hobby including staying inside my room, listening to music, watching movies, reading books. Basically, I do anything inside my room as long as the surroundings are quiet.
Okay.
And I also take an even interest in psychology and astrology. I love reading about those topics.
Well, can I guess that you are an introvert person?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
That's obvious.
Okay. So that's your personality. So, do you have any hidden talents?
About my hidden talent, I think the most outstanding talent of mine is I have the innate ability to learn languages. So I can learn English kind of easily compared to some other people.
Yeah.
And I also took up another language.
Oh, so what is that language? What is the second language that you learned?
Japanese.
Japanese. So, can you just say a few sentences using Japanese? Just a
Okay.
bit.
Okay. Konnichiwa, 皆さん。私はハと申します。今私は大学3年生で21歳です。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
Wow, and indeed, I think you have a knack for learning foreign languages, of course, because even whether it is English or Japanese, you speak both of them very well, very fluent, very confidently. Okay.
Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure that everyone who is watching us right now must be very curious, how did you succeed in your IELTS, and what is your secret? So now, can you share with us a bit about your IELTS experience?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. So let's talk about the reason why that you decided to, study IELTS. So what is your reason?
Okay. As I said before, I study my subjects, my course in English. So in order to graduate, I have to get a certification of English language, and that's the main reason.
Okay, and obviously you've already established yourself a very good foundation of English, right? But just like everyone else, and what is I think that there must have been some difficulties for you when you first learned how to tackle the test. So what was your biggest problem? What was your biggest difficulty back then?
The biggest difficulties, I think, it lays in the writing skill. And as I have a bad habit of rambling in either daily conversation or writing essays in Vietnamese, not to mention English.
Yeah.
So I often do not get a high score in coherence and cohesion.
So how did you overcome your difficulties?
To tackle this problem, I try to plan carefully before writing, including brainstorming for ideas, writing all the topic sentences in advance, as well as all the good collocations and vocabularies that pop up in my mind at the time I read the question paper.
Okay, so I think that the key here is you have to plan your ideas first, to avoid all the rambling that you just mentioned, right? Okay, and how about your preparation for the IELTS as a whole? What about the other skills?
For listening and reading skill, I used the Cambridge English test, volume 10 to 13, which is also very famous among IELTS learners.
Yeah.
And for writing, I read the essay sample by Simon, Liz, Ngọc Bách to pick up the good, useful collocations and vocabularies. For speaking, I just use the materials provided by IELTS Fighter. Anyone can find that on the website.
Okay. So do you have some sort of advice or tips for other IELTS learners?
I have a piece of advice for you guys. Focus on the vocabularies. Because you can't do anything without vocabularies, as all 4 skills all require a comprehensive vocab in order to paraphrase or to find, to look for paraphrased words.
Okay.
It's vocabulary which saves the my IELTS score.
Yeah, I think that's a very valuable piece of advice. And how about your test day? Can you tell us a bit about your experience during your test day? How did you feel when it came to your test day?
Actually, my test day is just an ordinary test day. I do feel a little bit nervous, but actually I have attended in many countless tests and examinations, some of which are more important than this. Okay. So I have quite enough experience to deal with this.
You get used to the feeling of like taking an exam, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But you guys, remember, try not to drink too much water before entering the test room.
Okay, of course.
And go to the toilet before checking in and entering the test room, because there will be no toilet break and no going out during the listening test, no going out between the 2 parts of the test, and no going out in the last 10 minutes of the writing test. So if you want to go to the toilet, you have to use your test time to go. And you know, the test time in the IELTS test is very, very limited.
After a long journey of studying IELTS, so once you look back at the journey, do you think that like to be able to get an 8 in IELTS tests is actually like that difficult as many people think? Actually,
I used to think that IELTS is very, very difficult, and those people who can get an 8 is like a superhero for me at that time. But now, after getting an 8, so interestingly, I have the thought that if I can do it, anyone can achieve that result.
So what is the most important factor for people when they aim like for such a high band score like this, like for an 8? So what is the factor that they should take into consideration?
I think first of all you should have a clear target. It's not about the overall score, but you have to have the target score for each skills. And for writing and speaking, try to set a specific score for every criteria, like cohesion and coherence, lexical resource, grammar.
What about your experience here with IELTS Fighter? Like, how did you feel? Like, why did you decide, to study, to take a course in IELTS Fighter at first?
Actually, I was recommended by my friend. She was also a student of IELTS Fighter. And after asking her a few questions, I decided to give it a go. My teachers and my classmates all are very cute and friendly. It was such a pity that my course ended so quickly. And I want to say thanks to Miss Dương Bùi. And after study with Miss Dương Bùi, I managed to improve my reading score from about 6, 7 to 9.
Wow, and that's a big jump from 6 to 9 in reading.
Thanks to her tips. And Miss Dương Bùi, if you're watching this, I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing with us like all of these tips. So to end today's video, do you have any final words for the students who are about to take the IELTS tests?
Actually, I do not have any secrets. The only secret is just target, clear target, hard work, and determination. All of those will get you there. People may think that only learning some trick and tips can have you get high score, but I think it accounts for just a little bit of your
just
result.
Like 10%, I think. And the other 90% is your determination and of course your
hard work and the foundation.
Of course. Okay, thank you. And thank you so much for watching our videos today. And I think that through her experience and also her sharing about the tips and the methods and the material, and I think you guys, somehow you guys can find yourself a way, you know, to face the IELTS test more confidently, right? Thank you. And
thank you.
That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye.
Bye.